Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sit and Chat with Ghostly Travels. How's everybody doing this Tuesday night, August 27th? Can you believe it? August 27th is already here. That's crazy. Well, welcome to our first show with our first guest, and this it feels good to be back doing podcasts. We miss it. We've done them for many years in the past, but we took a break, and now it's Patty and I doing this, and we look forward to having fun with everybody. And so tonight's guest, I know I'm going to butcher her name, but when she comes in, she can tell me exactly how she says her last name. Uh, Gina Bengtson is what I'm going to say as of right now. Hello, Taylor. How are you? Um, so let's just go ahead and bring Gina in now. A little bit about Gina is she has a podcast of her own called The Fox Den. Um, she also is a creator of paranormal equipment with Bob Christopher. And she's got a lot of good stuff here that I just want her to go over. So let me bring her into the show. Hello, Gina.
Hi. Everyone always just says Gina B.
Okay, that's what I'm going to start saying from now on, because I ran downstairs before you come on, and I was like, I'm going to butcher her name.
Everybody does.
But how do you say it?
But it's actually Bengtson. The T is silent,
okay.
Because it's the way it's spelled, Bengtson. So it's Bang, silent T, son. But no one can say it. And I'll even say it's just Bankston and just, or in here and these things, because even my podcast is The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D.
I love it. And Patty's from New Jersey, right, too? So her cousin is called the Big D.
There you go.
So I love those little things that you guys nickname each other. I love it.
Oh, I got a lot of nicknames. Oh my God, you don't even want to go there.
Yeah, and I just love everybody over in the East Coast is just phenomenal. I love being there ever since I've been introduced, and just so many great people. And it took a little bit of time to get used to the people on the East Coast compared to over here on this side of the Appalachian where I'm at in Ohio.
What do you say?
Well, when I first met Patty's family, I'm like, are they dickheads or what is up? And I just had to get used to the personality, right?
Right.
And then I'm like, it took a little bit of time, because when I first met her family, it wasn't like sitting at a dining room table. We were heading to the Hudson River there in Lower Manhattan at her brother's boat, and I'm like, oh, they're just going to throw me over. It's just that easy. I'm done. If they don't like me, and
it's a good place to get rid of the.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was totally opposite. It's like we had a great time, and
of course.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we sound harsh on the East Coast. I'm an asshole. I mean, I'm from Massachusetts. I'm living in Pennsylvania now, but I am from Massachusetts, and we're harsh. Our language is just harsh, and everyone thinks we're mad all the time. We're not. It is the way we are. And, and being in Mass, like driving and stuff, our motto is you first after me,
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to get you there with the driving over there. Wow. We just had an incident. We came into Philadelphia airport, and our brother-in-law picked us up.
Yeah.
And we get in the car at the airport, and he pulls out. And he stops by a car, and Patty's in the passenger seat, and he rolled the window down, and he said, "Hey!" And the guy looked over, and he flipped him off, and he goes, "You stupid idiot!" And I'm like, "We're going to get killed before we even get to
Oh my God. I mean, we don't even do that anymore. I have mellowed a lot since I've been in Pennsylvania. It was so funny when I first got here. Oh, it was craziness. I'm like, because we go, right, Patty?
Mm-hmm.
We go, and we constantly.
Oh, yeah.
You get here, and everyone's like, well, I reckon we might as well go to the supermarket. and then you go,
Yes.
right? I'm going to get food, right? I'm doing my house. I'm decorating. I'm doing this and that, and I need food. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go quickly to the grocery store. I'm in line for like 45 minutes because, 3 people ahead of me that have 2 things in their basket. I'm thinking, oh, this is a good line. No. They got to talk about their cousin's father's brother's sister's wife's kids graduating, and they having a party, and they're doing this and that, and then she'll be, oh, really? And then, oh my God, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. After so long.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting used to it, and
Yeah.
now I'm one of those. Yep. But you get it, Patty. I'm
The
sure, right?
thing that's driving me crazy out here is, number one, when we go home to New Jersey, now I feel like I drive like a grandma because I've been here so long.
Right.
But over the past few years, they've started putting traffic circles here. But here they're called roundabouts.
And nobody
And no
knows
one
how
knows
to
what to
drive the
do.
damn things here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing with those, though, people, they get on them and they
Like,
panic.
it is yield.
Yeah, you could go around again. They're like going to cut everybody off. It's like, just go around again and take the right exit. Read, people, read, right?
Yes.
The roundabouts, they're round,
And they're
figure
very,
it out.
yeah, the circles here are very simple. Like,
Not
where I
like
come from, there are
Jersey.
2 or 3 lanes, and you're taking your life into your hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like driving in
So-
Jersey. I really don't. I have to go to Para-Unity in Jersey, and then Bob drives. I'm just like, I can't do it. From 5 lanes, you got to be in this one to make sure you take the right exit, because it's only one lane that takes that exit. Otherwise, who knows where you're going? I'm just like, no, I can't handle it. And I have turned into grandma being here.
Yeah.
Patty's from Clinton, New Jersey, the Red Mill. And I remember the first time we were there, and I was like, I'm a Mountain Dew drinker at the time. I was like, I got to go get some Mountain Dew. So I took the card. She says, go ahead and just put gas in it too. Okay. Well, there's 2 things that screwed up that day when I left. First, I don't remember how getting back. Second is like you say, you get off of a road, it's a circle, and then boom and boom. So I finally found a 7-Eleven, got Mountain Dew, pulled into the gas station, got out of the car, and the guy goes, whoa. He goes, he saw the tags on our car, and he goes, yeah, Ohio. He goes, you cannot get out of your car here. And I'm like, I figured that now after I just read it, and it clicked.
Right? I know. That was something. I think it's the only state in the U.S. that makes that they pump your gas. I mean, everyone else I think is self-serve.
Oh yeah. It's just self-serve. It's just help yourself, but there it's just totally woo.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yep. I found that out the same way you did.
Yeah. Okay, and another thing, real quick, I want to ask you: pork roll, is that pork or is that ham?
What is it?
Pork roll.
Pork roll? That's pork.
I don't know if they have that in Mass.
Pork? I don't know. I'd like I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we have that.
It's a New Jersey. I know it's from New Jersey.
It's a breakfast food.
It's a breakfast meat. Well, yeah, and it comes into like a tube, like sausage in a way, but a bigger. And
I'd try it.
Yeah, it's just pork roll. Some people say it tastes like ham. You fry it, you put it on your biscuit with egg and cheese and stuff like that. It's really good.
As long as it's not Spam, I'm good.
Nope, not Spam, because I'm with you on Spam.
That Scrapple, whatever. Nope, not gonna do it.
Yeah, totally.
Nope. Don't know what that is. Don't care to know. Nope, not doing
it. We don't know where that came from.
Nope.
Hey, you mentioned Para-Unity. That's one I really want to go to, but
it's amazing.
It messes up our timing because a lot of times we'll come home for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just too early to come home, and we can't make 2 trips, and there's just a whole thing. So one of these days.
If it was any other event, I mean, because the timing of it too is a killer for me, is I do a ginormous, big Halloween display in my yard, all kinds of animatronics and everything.
I saw that last year. I'm like,
this year it's bigger and badder, and I'm building a boat and everything else, right? So I'm like, all kinds of stuff. I got to tear it all down that night because we have to leave for Para-Unity in the morning. you know, and then you work all weekend and
Absolutely.
you know,
You're wore out.
working, and yeah, I'll be dead by the time we get back. But then it's voting right after that, so it's going to be like whoosh, a blur. You know, I'll die after that. Sleep for a week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely one that we want to get to.
It's great.
Sure.
It really is. Chris and John, they do a lot of work for that. I mean, I always say, all right, because there's me and Bob that do Pennhurst, Chris and John do Para Unity, and Steve and Pam do the Bash. If you can do anything, those are the three on this coast that you really want to go to.
I want to be at all three. Yeah.
That's best. You know, for sure.
Yeah. And then, then I just heard that Michigan Paracon, that was the last year for it this year.
Yeah, that's sad.
15 years strong, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
So like you said, to deal with that all weekend, that's a huge headache.
Yeah.
But it starts way before that, right? I mean, it's
one when you're vending and whatnot, like we're working on it now to build all our stuff for Unity, because we just got back from the Bash. So what we sold at the Bash, we're building everything back up so we have enough, to bring to Para Unity. And then, if we have anything left from there, it just goes into the stockpile, and then when it's our turn for Pennhurst, because it's like we go swinging bat of Europe. So it's Chris and John's turn now. And ours will be, starting, because ours is in May, right? May 17th and 16th, 17th, 18th, whatever. The week before that is like really crazy. But I mean, the planning that's going on now is insane. We're going to sign some pretty big names. I can't really say who we're signing, but I gotta say someone that no one has ever had or could get. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be.
Oh man, that sounds so cool. And I'm going to say something, and I don't even know who it is. I'm saying it's a female. Nope. Then that killed it for me.
50-50. You had 50-50. Nope.
50-50.
Well, then again, it could be a four-legged, but no.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
You guys do get a lot of different talent from all walks of paranormal, and that is huge. And like I told Bob through message a while back, we're going to definitely be there next year.
Awesome. Great.
But here's the thing. I don't want to vend because I don't vend, I'm just a paranormal investigator that loves to help people. And all the 29 years close to 29 years that I've been doing it, I don't vend. What do we do? Show the shows that I've been on, in the paranormal. I mean, I don't want to do that.
A lot of people do that. A lot of paranormal teams do that.
Yeah.
And especially if they help people, they will put their things out, their CHAPS members or whatever. They'll put their stuff out there. They'll have their equipment out, what they do and what they use, pictures of things that they've captured. EVPs people can listen to. You can have a computer screen because you can get power. You can have a computer screen up, play some video clips, whatever that you've gotten. So I mean, paranormal investigators do have tables, but then again, you're stuck at your table. So it's
exactly. I can't go around and mingle with everyone.
Yeah, because you want to see everything. Because we're huge. We are huge. Pennhurst is we had 7,000 people last year, and we're thinking it's probably going to be double this year. And it's that big only because of the fact that we have the area. Para Unity, the Bash, they'd be that big, but they just don't have the area that we do that we can fill up. I mean,
you've got all the grounds now. Do you use some of the buildings too, right?
Yeah. We have vendors in Devon. Devon is like I can't even believe it. If people have gone to, this is why we do it, right? Because if people had gone to Pennhurst years ago and you've seen the shapes of the buildings and the grounds and and it was like nature was taking the buildings back over again.
Yeah.
Right. And since the new regime has come in, Matt and his crew and everything, and it has been night and day. And all the proceeds that come from doing Pennhurst Paracon, we don't make a dime. We kill ourselves. We don't make a dime. Well, we do from our vending, but other than that, from what we do there, it goes into the grounds and the upkeep of Pennhurst.
And now, that's the way it should be, right?
Right. And Devon has just like taken the biggest change. Going from a decrepit building to one now that has a whole floor that's got power and electricity and 2 bars in there, like two areas that we can set up for entertaining. And we have all our vendors in there. And yet the basement is still nice so people can go on Candyland and investigate. So cool. We added a new doorway on the back of that building. We cut through the wall and added a big stair rail. The railing was going in at the beginning of last year. It's like it's constant work. It's constant work. The buildings are getting cleaned out. The ones that can't get fixed get torn down, and then cleaned up. There's going to be paving in the big parking lots. Their crews and our crews work together, right? But their crews are amazing workers. Like, no joke. How they can, the traffic people making sure that you get where you need to be, how they come out, where you need to go, where you go into the ticket sales going in, all this stuff is so well done and so professional because they have big events there all year round. Like now they're preparing for their Halloween. And if anybody has not gone to Pennhurst Halloween and you've gone to other things, drop them. Go to Pennhurst because wow. This is like movie worthy. I couldn't believe it. I went, Brent, finally. They've been telling us go, go, go. And we've been busy.
That stuff right there scares the hell out of me.
Oh my God, I was floored. Because you're going through tunnels.
I know, right? So it's like, oh shit.
It took like 4 hours to go through the whole thing.
Oh my good Lord.
Insane. The
wow.
actors are phenomenal. The makeup is great. Just the oh my God. You're going through catacombs. You're going through all kinds of things. And the fog is like, it's movie worthy. It truly is. The show Tanked?
Yes.
There's 2 big tanks there. I'm not going to tell you what's in them, but there's 2 big tanks there. It's beyond. It's just beyond. So anytime, like I used to go to a Haunted Overload with my daughter. And now that's like going to the kiddie park.
Compared to that, yeah. Yeah, because there's so much. The technology has changed. We've got a amusement. Well, it's sort of like an amusement park here. It's a haunted attraction, but he opens it all year round. It's called Land of Illusion, and through the summer he's got a pond that it's called the Aqua Park. So he's got the big blow up thing, slides. They've got a big full size bar, restaurant in there, and then they've got. Because I helped build that way back. And they've got like a haunted trail. And he goes to all of these like big Hollywood conventions and buys these big top of the line, millions of dollars for this stuff, man.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. That's what it's craziness. It's craziness. But that you can see how well Pennhurst can control a crowd. So between we have vendors inside, we have vendors outside, the cameras that are set up around outside, the crew that's security, the crew that helps people, the crew that directs traffic. There's our crew that is helping people. You know what I mean? It's just.
So you got a lot of moving parts in this.
A lot of moving parts, many. So it's a lot of work. And then it's like, push gone, and then
it's here and it's gone, right?
Yeah, and such meetings next year. We try to every year make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and we have. So I'm banging here on my lap and my geophone.
I was gonna say, did you do that? Everybody's like, did you see that piece of equipment behind you? Ergo.
Yeah, no, that's me. See, I'm just my lap. That's sensitive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I love their equipment, by the way. Man, they make some awesome equipment. Patty surprised me with one of the really cool the scan box. I love that thing. Just got it. That is cool. Gina made me one of the really cool REM pods with the music with the nun. People are like, every time I pull that thing out, they're like, they get scared because when we do a lot of public things, they're like, what's on that? And I show them the picture of the nun, and they're like, oh my. And I'm like, wait, you haven't seen nothing yet. Wait till you hear this thing. And they're like, that little box actually is that loud? I'm like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's crypto cords. All right, that's what these are. Right?
Yes, the crypto
up here, and this is Michael Jackson, right? So this
I love
plays
that
Thriller, right?
Yes.
And I have like Jack's Skeleton. Okay, that plays the
That is
theme
cool.
song for Nightmare Before Christmas. Halloween plays Halloween theme, and these can be anything, right? Voldemort. This is
Oh, cool.
you know, so like I won't
That
play
is-
the whole thing. I do not own the rights to the music. Okay, still love the thing, but they're what they do is when you turn these on and you face it in the direction that you want to monitor, right? So this goes from the box in a V pattern out and go up to 45 feet plus, right? And if anything crosses in front of this box, hot, cold, because it's temperature and motion. So hot and cold, so temperature change, like spirits can be cool, it can be hot, right? Both. So if anything goes in front of it quick, the music's going to turn on and off quick. If something stays in front of it and is blocking this thing and it's moving, the music's going to stay going. And then something's right there. So talk, it's right there. Hello, investigate.
Oh, absolutely. That I did not know it was the heat. I knew it was cool, but now I learned something new about my piece of equipment. So that's even better. Now I'm ready to use it again. I should set it up because our house is haunted, so I should set it up behind me.
Yes, definitely. Oh my God, it would scare the shit out of people. Honest to God. Yeah. We have things for like all the senses, so that's measuring distance. Cause you can do like a whole, if you had two of them, you could do like the massive hallways in these.
Oh, absolutely. Back them together.
Right. So you can do one that way, and you'll know which one it is if you have different music.
And you know what? Has someone, and I'm going to ask this, has someone asked for Beetlejuice yet?
I do Beetlejuice all the time. I have it downstairs. I didn't bring it up here, but yeah, I do Beetlejuice.
The movie, everybody.
When I'm bending, if it gets like quiet, I'll start playing that, and then we all start singing and dancing, and I'm like, go behind my table and everything. I made a Gangnam Style.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's fun when you're half asleep and you hear that.
Yep. Whoa, sexy lady.
Yeah, that's what.
I ran around the whole bash because it got right at the end of the bash last bash this year. I went around everyone, and then everybody was singing. It was great.
That is funny. Why did you paint it? What did you have on the box itself for that?
It's red, and it's got the little character of him doing that.
Oh, really?
Like the.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's great.
But it's fun though, especially when you're slap happy late at night.
Exactly. And
something scares you, but when that goes off, it's like, oh, I was scared for a second, but the song.
Right. So Scooby plays Scooby, like I have Ghostbusters plays Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
we have a lot of creepy music, like your non-music, that's very creepy.
Yeah, I love it.
We have like Silent Hill we'll use and Dead Silence and things like that. They're very, very creepy. Poltergeist on ghost boxes and things.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So then we have this thing here with, see this light here. This is a dome. When you go into some place and you get that, that feeling and your hair stands up and everything. That's like a static charge. That's static energy, so a spirit could have walked by you or whatever. But that's what the dome does. The dome measures static electricity, static charges. So we use those for manifestation, right? So like if you had a bunch of these and they come in tons of colors. We have 8 different colors. So we have, orange, pink, black, orange, green, blue. We have glow in the dark.
Oh, that's even cool. That's cool right there.
I mean, it's really cool. And purple and red.
Because the glow in the dark's one of the best when you have public people, because when they want to, you hear them kick your stuff. And I'm like, oh, good Lord. Oh, then they're like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah, you should be.
Yeah, I know. That's why, like a lot of people like, oh, I like black. I'm like, okay, but, but at least the light is always on.
Exactly.
But the glow in the dark, yeah, you do have to charge it, but
it
will work. I don't
know that is so cool.
Kind of see it already. Just give it a little.
Yeah, it's already given a charge right there.
Yeah, no, just from a light bulb. So, I mean, you can't. They work great though. So now we've done like distance, right? And we've done static. We also have a nice new little setup that we just set up for people with a GoPro. So this is like a full spec GoPro, and this is an IR and a full spec light. So the only thing you need here, and it's already got the little handle.
Already got the handle, yeah.
So you're like ready to go. You keep this all set in your bag, right? The only thing I would do on this, and like I did with my kit, like I made these GoPro things like 15, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, before they were GoPros.
Before, yeah, you know, and I would put a strip like a Velcro on here and put my digital recorder right on there. You know,
Perfect.
it's the only other thing you need.
So yeah, because you're not touching it, and people say, "Is that your hand rubbing across your recorder?" No.
Right. You know, you're not touching nothing. And then speaking of not touching anything, the thing behind me, I'm not gonna talk about that yet though.
No.
Wait for it. But up here, we've got more equipment. This thing that's been going off, right? This is a geophone. So that measures vibration. That has on the top here, there's this little button here. You can do the sensitivity of it. So if you're on that concrete floor, right? See, I'm banging on my floor because I put the sensitivity up high,
Yep.
right? So if you turn it down, you know, on a bouncy floor like here, I would have turned it down because that's really sensitive. So I'd turn it down. But on the concrete floor where it's hard, you turn it up and then you bang on the floor and then it will still light up. So that's like a plus. Now you can use those for claims that they're footsteps or claims that something is moving or anything like that because that's sensitive. Or you can use it to communicate and say, tap once for yes, twice for no. Cody and Satori, that for their, you know, their ABC thing.
Yeah.
Right? They use a geophone.
Oh, really? I did not know they used that for that.
Yeah. But all of our equipment has been used on like ghost hunters and fact or faked, you know, like from a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
A lot of the shows and whatnot. And Adam and Amy robbed me last year. Gave them a bunch of stuff, so I'm sure they're using it.
Yeah.
But this is one thing that was on Ghost Hunters, and that's our HTO, right? That blue one on the end there. Right now, there's a clip, and it's hooked to this pair of scissors, and the scissors are what? Metal, right?
Exactly.
So if you touch that, the light goes on. See that? I'm just touch the scissors, well, and the light goes on. So that is a specific item monitoring thing. Now, what we do is like you can take it, and this is just a stove cover from like right. So you can get big ones like this or small ones. If you put like this water on this tray and you hook that clip to it, you set the sensitivity because water is a conductor. You can do that. So you can use this in a bar if you want a shot of beer, things like that. You can monitor that. So if you're in bars, or if you're in a location, say you Hillview or Penhurst, right? And you put all kinds of different items on here: pills, cigarettes, toys.
Yeah, whatever attracts the spirit, right? Like candy.
Whatever the object is that works in that location. So you can hook it directly to anything metal, or you can do like Ghost Hunters. If you had something like this big bad boy.
Oh yeah.
So a nice big sword that's metal, you know, from a location. If you have like Lizzie Borden's axe, right? You
There
can
you
hook
go.
it to the axe part. You can hook it to, you know, whatever, as long as it's metal. But it doesn't always have to be metal. There's a big clip here, like a long cord. If you wrap that cord, say, around a soft surface, like our cat, okay, as long as you make a connection with that, cross that wire, you can monitor something soft. Now,
see if they're picking it up. Yeah.
right. And now this guy, this is a proximity meter. So when you turn these on, they're on REM mode. There's another little button here that you can change to our music mode. So these are proximity cats and dogs. Right?
That is so cool. I needed that. One of our where we do public hunts, they actually have a cat, a spirit cat in there. So just to have that in there, you know, I'm writing a list down, Patty.
Yeah, and then
no.
you know, I mean, we've got a big kennel of dogs and a big, you know, litter of cats. So there's definitely ones to choose from that, you know, you can find. Now, I am the parafox. Speaking of nicknames, right? And P-Fox.
Yes.
I have a fox. The fox
That is so cool.
is my trigger prop, right? But I mean, there's so many, and they work great. You know, I had a cat. We were at Oliver House, and we put cat on the table, And we were just slept. I mean, we have the camera on everything all the time. And the cat's going crazy. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what's petting the cat. And they said, well, it's probably the dogs who's bothering the cat. I didn't know at that time, because it was the first time I ever went to Oliver House, that there are 2 spirit dogs there. And they have all their stuff like in a cubby in the wall. Their collars, all that kind of stuff is there. So the dogs were going after the cat. I was like, oh my God, that's pretty
That
amazing.
is cool.
Yeah. Penhurst, they love the cats, like down Mayflower basement. They love the cats. And in like Candyland, they like the dogs.
Isn't that, yeah, it's just, you just got to figure out what you're dealing with.
Yeah. And let them play.
Let them, yeah.
We have, all right, just like the cat, which is proximity, and you actually got to pat it. We have this is our V-Pod, right, which is the same thing, has the same 2 modes. It's got the REM mode and the music mode, but it's really small, compact.
That thing's got a good sound to it as well.
It does. And then it's very small and compact, and you can stick it. It's like it's like a version of a REM pod, but it's sleeker, cheaper, way cheaper.
I know, your prices when I go to sit.
Our prices are great.
I'm
our prices are great, and the thing is we guarantee everything too. So if something breaks, Bob fixes it. And then so now we have specific. We have vibration, we have proximity, we have sight, we have length. Now we need hearing, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
So now we have all these customizable boxes, okay, which is the Easy Scan Ghost box. Why it's easy and how this even came to be was because I said to Bob, I'm old, I'm blind, I can't do my SB7. I'm sick of spending money on the speakers because the wires are hanging from the thing. The glasses are coming out, the flashlight's in the mouth, so you can try to.
Yeah, it's all uncoordinated.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. So I said, I need something easy. So he came up with this. So you push a button, turn the knob, push the speed. Okay. Well, you can play that back to see what he said. But you pick your speed. Right, slow to fast, and that is according to your audience. And these are customizable. So, like, there's boxes like this that have the plain tops. I've done all kinds. I've got Poe box here. Right, so like there's Poe all the way around. I put all different things. There's a couple here that I just made. These aren't built yet. So this is like the first stage. So I do all these graphics.
That is so cool.
Boxes, but see, there's nothing in this one yet, right? So then it goes to Bob and he builds it. Then I go on.
You guys have a system.
Yes, yeah, I do. My office is here. His is in the basement. He makes the magic happen and makes everything work. I just make it look pretty. And this is a custom box that I just did for someone. Well, so it's all horses, and she's waiting for this, but he was waiting for parts to come in. I said, good, give me the box because I want to show it because I love it. I think it's so pretty. But
that is cool.
This is what she wanted. She goes, well, what about like Pintos or Native American horses or Appalachians or something like that? So I came up with that, and she loves it, and so that's that. Then there's I did this one with ghosties.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
So, I mean, that's different. Then this is mine. And this one I'm not making to sell because it was a pain in the face. But
cool.
The Italian. Okay, so this actually has, and I don't know if I have batteries in it, but it made it so that it's like a, it closed.
Mama D said Bob is always in the dungeon.
He's working down there, and it's not that I stuff him down there. That's my co-host, Mama D. But this is the disc. Okay, so there's.
That is so cool, though. That one is very cool.
Now that is going by your voice. Now
oh, really?
Talk.
Hey, yeah.
See?
Oh, it goes. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sound of vibration. There are two modes. You can have it on all the time, so it'll be like that all the time.
Yeah.
Or you can use it just like our geophone, right? But our geophone's like $100. But to have one of these, it's an extra $20 to get a box with one of these. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
worth it because you can use it and you can say tap once for yes, twice for no. But when I do stuff like this is a clock face that I made. I could say, can you point to a time? And how just like a plasma thing, they can follow.
Sure.
So they can actually take and manipulate that.
Follow it right to the number that you're saying, what they want.
Right.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So, so that's, this is my box. And we do things with discs on the big boxes, but this is the only one like this one, So it's just plain on the outside, but I'll do stuff steampunk boxes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, all
Now,
of
could
that.
you upgrade existing?
To that?
Yeah.
To add the disc? It would be tough because then I'd have to redo the whole top because it might not go with that design. I might have to do a different design around the disc on the top. But,
Okay.
yeah, it could.
Somebody said in chat, I forget where it was, but they definitely want to get some of your stuff.
VortexGhostGear.com.
Absolutely. And I was going to get ready to chime that in. Definitely. And I'm going to put that in the chat.
There you go. Now, while you're doing that, here's the other thing. This is not a thing for sale, but this is Bob's brilliant mind. This is the only one in the world of a hands-free Ouija board. The spirit likes it, not you. Okay? So this is an amazing feat of technology. But it would be too expensive to sell, too time-consuming to make, But when we first turned this on, it was funny because how I have this is all the numbers, all right, in here.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob and I were getting interviewed by two Merriweather. It's a haunted college. I don't know, but the girls were coming up and they were talking to us. Okay, we got done. They were talking to us about ghost detectives and ghost excursions. Things about that. They didn't even know that we built equipment. This was the first time this was done, and we were getting ready to go to, I believe, Para-Unity at the time. So that was on the table, and then they went after we were done the interview, and they're filming it and recording it, and they said, "Oh, well, can you just tell us what is this stuff?" And Bob turned it on. Of course, he's all proud, right? So he turns it on, and it's on the table, and we're both standing there, and we filmed this, right, because we got the clip from them. So we turn it on, and we explain what it was to the girls. The girls were just going, "Oh my God, that's really cool." The box, okay, and we're just standing there. We're not even near it. The thing goes W, and then it goes to the 0, okay, and then it goes back to the W. And me and Bob looked at each other, and he's going, "Whoa," and I'm like, "Wow."
Oh,
but it's a 0. I said, "But there's 0." Then it changed it, and it went W, O, W. So it changed it. It actually corrected itself, the spirit in my house, right? Corrected itself, and the girls were just like jaw dropped. Me and Bob were like freaking out. And they're like, "Why are you so excited?" Because we're like, "Because it works."
Because it's intelligent and it worked. So how close is the 0 to the letter O? They're real close though, right? Yeah. So he probably was doing it, or he or she was doing it real fast, and they just
Yeah.
That is all. That is
to
awesome.
correct yourself. Oh
yeah,
my
to go
God.
back and go, "I'm sorry."
Great. Wow.
That's a
because we can spell, but then we took it to places, like we've been taking it here and there. But a place like Penhurst is really kind of not the best place to take it because there's more feeble-minded people that can't move their hands, people that can't communicate, people that can't spell. You don't know. There are a few that could, but it's not really the best place.
Yeah, I know, like in my family, like way back in like both parents, they did not, some of their ancestors didn't know how to write, so they would just put an X.
Yeah. Right. And they might recognize that, so like if you were going down to Louisiana or something, say, "How'd you sign your name?"
Yeah, Patty, you're right. That would be Patty correcting it.
Yeah.
She's like a grammar police. So she would be like totally correcting that.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, it's like the equipment is great, to get validation for everything,
You got to just think outside the box on things, and sometimes you don't have to think outside the box. It's just right there in front of you. And it's just,
Yep. Bob is like the mad scientist behind all this.
oh, I know.
When he first came up with crypto cords, right? And he's like, people have motion boxes out there and they're motion. Or if they're temperature, they're just like a cold. We have cold and hot, so he's got that. This is made specifically for us. This, it's special. It's not just one that you just buy and throw in there. It's a special unit that's in there for us, calibrated for us, for what we want it to do, period. Right. And it works great. But I go down Stella, where his workshop is, and I wanted to tell him something, and he's deaf, so he can't hear me, so I have to go down there. And he's over in my part of the workshop, which is the wood shop. And I look at him, and he's going like this, and he's got this like sneaky look at his face. I'm like, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden I see this thing swinging by, and he's got ice cubes on strings going like this because he's trying to make a cold wave go by to test these things. I'm like, I don't even want to know what he upstairs.
But that's brilliant that he thought of that,
I know. He does that stuff all the time. When he came up with this, he was thinking about this for literally a couple of years. And then we're sitting watching a movie. We're sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden he jumps up, and he's like, I've got it. And I'm like, got what? And he's like, I know how to do it. And then I'm like, okay.
Okay, Doc, from the Back to the Future.
Yeah, right. The hair sticks up and the mad scientist comes out. I'm like, what? And he goes downstairs. He didn't come up for hours. I had no idea what he's doing, but I let him be. And he did. He figured out how he was going to do it. Then he had to order things to make sure that it would do it. And then it took 6 months to build that.
And I want to add to that. I've got a lot of their equipment. And their stuff, they build it really nice. You open it up, it is super nice. It's not just, glued in there and all that. No, it is really nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm like, this is phenomenal. Just phenomenal equipment all the way around.
Yeah.
Well, not only that,
I'm sorry.
but the customization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the customization. I mean, when I reached out about getting the Easy Scan box for Lee for our anniversary, I don't know how long you and I went back and forth, and you sent me so many images, and I'm like, yeah, the creepier the better. That's totally Lee. And
yeah, I loved it. But what he's talking about too is like this, like the inside of the ghost box, right? So the most important thing with this ghost box is there are 2 buttons. All right, so 2 buttons on, 2 buttons off. Okay, inside there are 2 batteries. One battery runs one button, the other battery runs the other button. So you got to make sure that you turn them both on and turn them both off, because if one of these batteries drains, this box is not working. But these boxes come with an antenna. We have 2 plugs in here. How do I get it? There, right there. All right. Now, do you see the blank plug here? If you unplug the blank plug, you can plug the antenna in there, and now you can get reception. The power plug, you can unplug that and plug in a portal. So everything about it is easy.
It's just the coolest thing, man.
And customizable. So your team logo, I just did one for a team, and I put their team logo had skulls, roses. It was round.
Oh, cool.
I just kind of embellished a little bit around the outside, which they loved. It matched it perfectly. Then I matched the rest of the designs around the box to that, their logo all the way around. She's like off the chain ecstatic,
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. So, your logo can go here, your team pictures can go on the sides, Rodney, I made Rodney a box. He loves working at Penhurst.
That's
and
cool.
all his, him and his characters and everything at Penhurst around his. So, depends whatever you want. It can be anything, really, literally. And these can be literally anything on it and any music in it.
I know when I reached out to you guys about mine for the nun, you both were chiming in on the messenger, and you're like, it can be anything you want. And I'm like, do what? And she goes, yeah, it can be anything you want. And I'm like, oh my God. So
I know, and yours is amazing. I wish you had it there to show because it was
the
like
sky's the limit. It's
it's so cool.
downstairs.
That one I painted all the way around, so it's got the nun and it's got that
Yeah.
violet crack through it. So it's like white and red and black,
Yes.
and I painted it all the way around.
Do you know what I do though, Gina? Because I'm so OCD that the box that came in with the little bubble wrap around it, I still, when I'm done, I take the batteries out and I roll it up. I'm so anal with my equipment when I'm done. And I use the same box and then I put it in a case.
Very good, very good. Yes,
Yeah.
this is on one of our boxes. They all of our equipment. So this is the VPod box. You know, I have a crypto box underneath that. All of our things. This is a crypto box. So all these things, they come in when you get your box. Inside there's directions, instructions, and directions. Again, we're all, you know, so this is in there. Yes, it does come in bubble wrap, and you'll get your thing like that. Everything that we have comes in its own box.
And that is phenomenal.
And then nice
and you go to their website, which I did post it in the chat, everyone, vortexghostgear.com. You're going to be amazed at their prices when compared to some of the others.
Oh god, yeah, and guaranteed, yeah. But this,
and
like our
guaranteed.
website, we're so busy all the time because we're building all the time. If you order a ghost box, there's not a lot of ghost boxes on our site, right? So, you know, I'm just gonna say, if you want one with the disc, pick the one that says, you know, it's a Ouija box, right? Just pick that one. I am going to send you an email, right? If you order a Ouija box or if you order a crypto box, I am going to send you an email. And I'm going to say, I'm going to help you with your design choice, right? So it's going to be whatever you want on there. If you want the one that's on the site, I'll make the one that's on the site. Fine. You know what I mean? I'll do that. But I'll say, if you want one that's like, you know, like this with the plain top, I say there's one that's on the site that looks like a steampunk box. I say, just pick the steampunk box because it's just a plain box, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get in touch with you. People will be like, oh, there's nothing for customizable on it. I'm like, they're all customizable. It's just what it is. They are, you know.
There's a spot. Gina's putting something on it for you.
I know. I don't like blank spaces, you know. So people send it if they have a logo that's only this big. I have all this much room, so I'm like, do you want ghosts? Do you want creepy ghosts? Do you want wispy ghosts? Do you want?
Yeah. Do you want a mist coming up to your name or something? I mean,
yeah, something. You know what I mean? Something. You got to fill the space.
To capture your name, to pop it out, make it pop. Boom.
There you go. See, but see now, if I did that, your logo on your shirt, that would be perfect on top of the box, right? But if I put that on here, you know, I might have a bright light come from behind it.
You did put this logo on the box.
Oh, But I'm just saying because people, you don't have it there to show people.
Yes, I do. Here, hold on.
Oh, you do. Oh, never mind. Okay.
But
that's Patty. That's Patty. You know, we went back.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to touch the equipment.
Mm-hmm. And there it is. See, so there's your logo. That's a possibility. And then creepy faces around. You know, that's crap. And there's the names, right?
Yep.
And that was the last one that we were going back and forth. And you're like, yeah. You're like,
and guys, just like she said, I mean, the quality of their stuff is just phenomenal. I mean, just if you look at the board, I mean, it's so clean. It's in a little glass cover, plastic cover there. You can see everything. Like she said, you got your antenna. Yep. You can unplug that one to put your antenna in, or your power, put your portal on there. Mm-hmm. It's there. It's these things are badass.
I'm so glad that you're happy with it.
I love that thing. Well, look, I told you I put everything back.
Look it. The instructions are in there. Yeah.
And I got the instructions, and I don't. And it's not ripped up. It's all right.
Look at you. Oh, I love you.
I keep everything because I don't want to have to get a hold of you, and I'm trying to explain to you and Bob, and they're like, you both are in your head like, well, if you'd read the directions. Well, no, I got the directions.
Yeah. Well, people get the directions whether they read them or not. But I explain, like, especially at the events, it's like I talk for 24 hours a day. But, it's like I say, the most important thing with those boxes is 2 buttons on, 2 buttons off. Make sure you turn them both off. If the box doesn't work, don't call me up and say, it's not working, it's broken, because it's not. Change both batteries. and then it will be fine.
Exactly. Replace
Sometimes
the
the battery
batteries.
isn't pushed in all the way, or or it's just not a good battery. You know what I mean? So, you user error.
Absolutely. Stop before you reach out. Figure it out on your own. Read your directions. Open up the battery cases. Make sure the batteries are pushed in.
Yep. And this too. A girl just bought one of these. She doesn't live far from us, so she came over here and she was picking up some stuff that she purchased. That she ended up going home with a cat and
No. See,
home, so stuff like that. So she's buying all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god! And she ordered a special box, and that was the one with her team logo on it.
Yeah.
But she ordered a GoPro from Amazon. She couldn't figure it out. So then I showed her this one, and she's like, oh my god, that's all set up. She goes, I'm going to get this. She had ordered through Amazon. She wanted one. She ended up ordering two by mistake. So she got two. She's going to send one back. She goes, I can't keep this one because I took it out of the package and everything's all over the place and I can't figure it out. Blah, blah, blah. Well, then she buys ours. And I was explaining to her, all about it and what you got to do and how you use it and how you set it up and everything. And she was going to an investigation, right? So now she calls up and she's like, it's not working. She's like, I charged it up. It's not working. It says that there's no card. I'm like, well, did you put the card in? She's like, yeah. So, she takes it all out and I go downstairs to Bob. I'm like, because Bob the builder. I said, Bob, let's figure this out. So we have her on video chat. And then, he's going, I don't understand why that wouldn't work. It was, perfectly fine here. And it was working perfectly fine here. And then what she did, and then he goes, what size card do you have in there? She's like, oh, it's like a big one, like a 64 gig or something like that card.
Oh, that's
like, nope.
Not for that little thing, no.
Right. Nope. Too big. So then he said, I sent the card with it. So we send extra batteries, little light, so it's the whole kit, and it has like this nice little case and everything, all the stuff in there, all the everything else that you can do with it. Like I like to take my GoPro out of the case and use this instead, because you can get good EVPs with a GoPro too, as well as that nice crisp, clean picture, which I like, not grainy, and you can really see. But, so she puts in the card that comes with it and it worked perfectly fine. I'm like, that will last you through your investigation. You won't be able to keep a lot of shit on your card, but put it on your computer.
Well, once you're done on your investigation, just dump it and then it's fresh. And
right. Dump it and clear it. And
you know what? If I lived close to you,
you'd be in trouble.
I would be in trouble. I would have a tab. You would have my credit card number.
Well, that's what this girl is like. She's like, can I just keep my credit card info? I'm like, no.
Yeah, just keep it on file and just say, hey, yeah, go ahead and use that. That would be so mean.
She might have something to say about that.
Because I just love everything you guys make. It's just phenomenal. And we were doing an investigation up in Fremont, Ohio at the Bill Manor. And a gentleman that actually we know, he was there and he had the static dome.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you get that from Bob? It was black. And I was like, he goes, yeah, Vortex. I was like, okay. And he goes, his name's Bob. I said, no, the creator's name's Bob, but you got it through Vortex Go Scared. And he goes, yeah. I was like, I love that stuff, man.
Yeah. I love it.
Because it went off in the basement.
Yeah. And he goes, this just don't go off. I was like, well, the atmosphere changed around that.
Right. Now, like with all the different colors and stuff, domes. It's like, we like at my house, we put all the different colors on my stairs, and I had the spirit box going, and of course I had digis going and everything. And so I recorded. Friends of mine were coming over to stay, and on the stairs, because this house is haunted as hell. Right, but on the stairs I had them.
No, I watched some of your videos when you guys are testing stuff, and you're like, "Wait, it's probably one of our ghosts." And Bob's like, "Yeah."
Yep, exactly. So we when I had all the stuff on the stairs, I was like, "Can you turn on the orange dome?" And that was like midway through the stairs. So like every step had a different stair, and I was like, I have 16 steps, so there's a lot of steps. So I hit them all like one every other step, and we have 8 colors, so it was perfect, right? So my girlfriend is sitting there with her boyfriend, and the The spirit box goes orange dome, and then the orange one lights up. So
Wow.
it was amazing. Ah. You need one.
Yeah, Patty's like saying she's yeah, and I'm like in shock because I didn't say I knew, but in my head I want it. I'm writing it down.
Christmas is coming up. That's what we always say. Christmas is coming up.
No, when we're trying to, and
um,
we are trying to save for our vacation in Aruba, and yeah, so it's like, oh, I want this, I want that, no, we're fine.
I know. But I mean, with shipping and everything, it's like $100. You know what I mean? These things here with shipping and everything is like $105, right?
Yeah.
This little setup here, when we go to our Lake Para Unity, you can get this for $200. With the light and the GoPro and all the extra things. So
there you go. I mean, and they said they guarantee it.
$100.
Okay, guys, you guys are hearing her say these prices, right?
Yeah, on the site. These are $175. I think these are a little bit more on the site. But when we go to the events, they're all $170. You know what I mean? So we have special prices for events. It's a little cheaper than the actual site because of shipping.
That is, and that's because when they're hearing these prices and they know they go to these other stores, and I'm not going to mention names.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's stores that don't stand by their things.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Some of those don't guarantee their stuff. Yeah,
things break and stuff, and then you call up and they're like, "Who are you talking about? What? Huh?" They have no idea. They won't refund you. They won't fix your stuff. If they say send it back, you send it back. Now they got your stuff again, and they'll probably resell it to someone else, and you'll never get your money back. Or see your stuff or see them.
Exactly. They're going to turn around and make their money back regardless. Like Dick said, their prices are great. I mean,
they are.
You definitely want to get your gear through Bob and Gina. I love their stuff.
Thank you.
I mean, I've put their stuff through the ringers on some of my investigations, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Well, it's the thing is, besides it being all guaranteed and stuff, it works, and that's why, this has been on Ghost Hunters and Adam and Amy's and all.
And it's a ghost hunter making the equipment on top of it. So for people that's just don't know Bob and Gina, they're paranormal investigators as well. They make this stuff because they're in the field, so they know what we're looking for.
Right. And that's why this came up, because it was like, oh, well, people, we talk about Ouija and on my podcast.
Yeah, put your head back in front of that, because that's yeah, hide that thing.
What's this? Say goodbye. When you're done, say goodbye. All right. That's the most important thing, is you close that door. But I've had that topic on. I mean, I've been doing podcasts for almost 10 years or so, right? And I started out with psychic medium, Chris George, and we would do all kinds of paranormal podcast stuff. Like my podcast is more metaphysical stuff with than the paranormal. We do paranormal stuff, but I do a lot of authors and things like that. But when I was with Chris, the Ouija board was like the topic of such. People just go nuts over a Ouija board, right? A Ouija board is a tool just like any of the other tools.
Everything that we use digital, right?
Yes, pretty much. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, things can happen with a Ouija board, when you're touching the planchette. There are things that you never do. You never use it alone. Always, if you have someone with you, and you always say goodbye. You always close that session, right? But you can use it, and you can get good communication through a Ouija board if used properly.
If you use it proper, and then you've got the right people with you, because a lot of people are like, did they move that? If they're not,
And that's So with all that being said, like, oh, you moved it and you moved it.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with that Zozo was such bullshit. I've never seen any more bullshit in all my time. I'm sorry, right? But it's so true, right? But with this, you can't say you moved it, no, the spirit is doing it, no one else.
Yeah,
And
because you're not touching it. I mean, it's right there.
but I still will do this when I shut it off.
Yeah.
I will still close the session.
Close
right?
it instead of packing it up, because you don't want to take something home.
No, you definitely don't. And you do want to do your protection. And that is very important. And it's any of us, all of us that are in this field, like me, and I'm empathic and I get a few gifts here and there, you know. I'm not saying I'm a psychic or anything like that.
I'm the same way with you. I'm an empath, but I don't put it out there. I don't sponsor that. I just use it when I need it.
But we attract things, right? Yeah, I can see them sometimes. Like, you know, I have this tone thing. Like, I have 3 distinct tones: high, medium, and low. And like a low, you got to be a little leery. Medium and high, those are good spirits. They're either guides, angels, or, you know, whatever, a good spirit. You know, I don't worry about those. And if I'm taking people that have never been on a ghost hunt and I hear the higher tones, let's go this way. You hear the lower tone, let's go that way.
Exactly.
And you can take them away. But you got to protect yourself from that stuff, because we're in the field. So in the morning I ground and shield, at night I ground and shield. And if it's been a rough week or something, like I've had a rough week, and you know what I realized was I didn't ground and shield for a couple of days either. So
yeah,
it adds to it. So actually I did that before the show. I was sitting here and I'm going, wow, you know what? Because I was getting all stressed and anxiety filled and everything else. And it's like, whew, get that out, bring in the good energy.
Yeah, bring in the positive, the good stuff.
Yep, but morning and night, you know, especially if you're empathic, you got to do it. You got to do it in the morning. You got to do it at night, because, you know, in the morning you're starting your day fresh. You're still going to pick things up. You can't block it all up. You can block the majority of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, once you build those walls and you know how to do it, then you can block it all.
Then you can, because I do it before bed too. It's like, it's my time. Good night.
Stuff, you know, your stuff will try to get you at night too. And that's another thing, you know, when you're at night and people will say, oh, there's a spirit on my chest and this and that. You know, you heard those stories about things like that. And it's like, okay, right, I got a myth bust here, right? Because a lot of well, I'm glad. A lot of this stuff, I'm just a pillar of knowledge, let me tell you. But a lot of the stuff that hits you at night, all right, we have a thing in our bodies, okay? And this is for self-preservation. You don't have to believe me. You can Google it. All right, we have Dr. Google or whatever. You know, there you go, pillar.
We all have the world in the palm of our hands.
There it is. All right, but when we're at REM sleep, our body goes and it paralyzes itself. Why does it do that? That's so we don't go walk off a cliff, right? It's there. It's to protect you. So if something happens, and a spirit can, when you're at that spot, can try to communicate with you, because of the fact that all day long, your brain is on all these things. Like, I got to get Johnny to soccer practice. I got to go grocery shopping. I hate grocery shopping, but I got to go grocery shopping. I got to do this. I got to pay this bill. How am I going to do it? You know, that's your brain all day long, right? And did I record my show? Whatever
right.
All right, whatever it is that's got you like frazzled all day. At REM sleep, that's gone. And the spirit knows it. So if there's a spirit in your house and they're trying to get in touch with you, that's when they'll come in and they'll try. But if they startle you and wake you up when you're just at that REM stage and your body just paralyzed itself and you wake up and you can't move, that's where you're at. Okay? So your body will come out of it, but you can't move because it's natural.
Yeah.
Right? If you're afraid, the one thing that does move, your tongue.
Yeah.
Make a sign of the cross in your mouth if you're afraid. Ward that thing off. Okay. Your mind is working. Say a quick prayer, you know, if you think it's something attacking you. But 99% of the time it's not, and it's a spirit just trying to get in touch with you because they can at that point. All right. So now that you know this, and if you know that there's a spirit trying to get in touch with you, when you go to bed, you can do a thing. You can have paper and a pencil next to the bed and say, okay, I know you're trying to get in touch with me. If you gently give me this message while I'm sleeping, all right, and you give me the message and wake me up so that I may write it down, because you forget. By the morning, you will forget. It's another thing our brain does, because we have millions of dreams all night long. If we don't dream, we die. Right? And that's another thing. Google it. Right?
Absolutely.
So we have to dream. But do you ever remember them? No.
Not all of them.
The ones you remember.
Patty remembers the bad ones that I've done. She wakes up and goes, "You're in trouble, mister." And I'm like, "Do what?"
Yeah. What did you do now? You did
Exactly.
it. Right. I remember those dreams too.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Smack them.
Smack me as I'm trying to wake up.
What I do now. It's not what you gotta do. It's what you're gonna do.
True.
But like you can get those messages and you can write them down. And then some psychics and some empaths that are getting messages, you might not be a full-blown psychic, but you're getting messages, or you're getting premonitions, or your little deja vu moments and things like that. But what you can do there, because when you ground and shield, keep that shit out, right? So, but what you can do is you can give yourself some calling hours. You can say, all right, you got to leave me alone the rest of the day. But from 11 to 1, okay, or 11 to 12, or whatever
it is, yeah.
All right, you can come in then. However you want to try to get your message to me, I will try to listen. I will try to watch, whatever.
One of the biggest things that I get when I get a message is cigarette smoke in front of my face. And I have never smoked, but one time when I was 14, tried it. And I get it all the time. That's one way that I get message. And then I sneeze. That's two ways that I get it. I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, if you have a spirit guide that smoked,
yeah,
they're gonna let you know. Like my dad, I lost my dad last year. I lost my mom this year. I've had a lot of loss years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my dad, when he comes in, I smell sawdust, because that was our thing together. Right? Yeah. We did woodworking together. He taught me how to build things. So I always associated with him sawdust anyway, but he does that. That's how I know it's him. But grandma's perfume, it might be that if you smell that. But it could be cigar smoke or pipe smoke or whatever, that smoke, that can be a specific person. So if you have a specific guide working with you, that's probably what
I think sometimes it's my mom's brother, because he used to smoke his cigarettes. He passed away. He would smoke his cigarettes like he was smoking joint. And and I would watch him smoke, right? And he was one of those that would inhale, and you would watch him and he would just talk, and then slowly it's coming out of his nose and his mouth. And I'm like, how are you holding that in? Oh my God.
And then, and then your lungs. Oh my God. Yeah. I used to smoke. I smoked like a fiend. I can't, not now,
Yeah.
All right. What do you write though? My mom comes always, and tomorrow is extremely important. Okay. She's been gone for 39 years. The granddaughter going to be born tomorrow. I see pennies from great. Okay, great. All right. Again. All right. This right here. All right. You can look up what these coins mean. If you are left pennies, dimes, quarters, nickels, whatever, those are direct signs. If you're left feathers, this giant feather my dad left me. All right. I have nothing with feathers in my house. Right. And this was right in my hallway after I smelt the sawdust. And there's the feather.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And feathers are different too. So white feathers, gray feathers, black feathers, this and that again. Google, right? You can get the charts of what they all mean. When you're looking for a sign and a specific sign, you have to pay attention, because some people say, I lost my husband, I lost this, I lost that, and I never get any signs. I'm like, well, are you looking? Are you really looking? Because something could just be misplaced. Your keys can be moved. Not much, but a little. So if you put them in a bowl and they're outside the bowl, if you put, you know what I mean? Things, it's small things, but they all mean something. And it's usually, so if you did, like I did, we're working with my dad. If you did something with your grandmother or your mother specifically, oh, okay, there you go. All right, so ask her now. Say, if you're the one that left me the white feathers, can you leave me another feather? And say, I will actively look for it. if tomorrow's the special day, say, all right, I'm remembering you, and I know you're remembering me. I know you're with me. And the thing is, when you're investigating, you talk like we're talking.
Yep.
And you just, all the only difference is you are waiting for a response. So you ask the question and you wait for your response. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime you want to talk, I'm available. But it's a regular conversation, and these are people that loved you, and they're still with you. And it's really, and especially on important days, they're definitely going to be with you. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, and you're going to get those signs in random times of the day. Maybe the night before, like tonight, Jenny, you may get something may come to you before you go to bed.
Yep.
She's got another.
Aww.
And so
okay.
things are gonna come. I mean, yeah, they're gonna be there with you.
Yeah. Be careful what you ask for. That's another thing too.
Yeah.
People say, I want signs. I want signs. And it's like, okay, well, be specific, because you do get what you ask for. And never ask for, when you're on investigations too with other people, like, smack my friend here or whatever, do things like that, or pull their hair or do anything like that. Not like, no, don't offer someone else as a victim, and don't offer yourself as a victim, because, you might get what you ask for. And that's not a good thing. It's never a good thing. You don't talk,
it's not.
don't tease, and you don't.
That's why I got this equipment down here. Please use it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Please, you want to use this, then do that, please. If you want to do something, set the lights off, right? And don't touch any people.
Oh yeah, just leave everyone alone. That's why we're going to do protection prayer before everybody leaves here tonight.
Yes. And you always say, you guys are, you belong here, you stay here, and we have our own homes, and we're going there.
Absolutely, and it's our time to just be at peace. And thank you for your time, and thank you for and what's your intake on this? We all do this. We all go to these locations where people are in there 7 days a week, and they're getting asked, the spirits are getting asked the same questions. And being an empath, I'm like, I don't even know how to sometimes talk to the spirit. It's like, I'm so sorry that I'm bothering you, because I know I'm probably going to ask a question that you've been asked 20 times this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do. I understand. So the claims are that Mrs. Smith is in here and she likes knitting. Okay, so
yeah,
everyone's going to come in and say, "Are you Mrs. Smith? Did you live here? Do you like knitting?" You know what I mean? It's like, yes, and yes. Okay, but how about, did you have a husband? Did you have kids? Do you, how old were you? What else did you do? What else did you like? What did you do for fun? How about those questions?
Try to, because that's what I tell people, is try to not go off of what is in the newspaper about this person, like they were a serial killer. If you want to really get to know the person, talk about something that they loved back when they were younger or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like, being an empath, I go in there and I'm like, okay, everybody hears the stories because we just got a tour. So that's the first thing that's on their mind when they're getting ready to do an EVP session or anything. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be that person to this person. And it takes time, it's years of investigating, figuring out ways that you get your activity from other people. But I love networking and ghost hunting with Patty and I. We do it all the time. We love working with people that's new, because we can learn something from somebody that's new to somebody that's been doing it a lot longer than us.
100%. It is. It's all, no one knows everything.
No,
none of us are the same, right? No spirits are the same.
No,
it's the same thing. They were people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the rare things that there's not people. Okay, rare. The majority of things are people. Minority of things are bad things.
Yeah.
Minority. And when I say that, it's like out of 1,000 cases, you might have one of those. Not like some of the shows that you watch.
True.
At all. Right?
Yeah.
but I mean, people can be negative, right? Now again, there's a ghost and there's a spirit. A ghost is someone that died, maybe quickly, maybe was murdered, maybe, was executed, maybe whatever, however they died. And this person is carrying and holding on to human emotions. Okay. That's the detriment to a ghost, right? So that prevents it from going to the other side. Fear, right? Fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen over there. I'm not going over there. I did all this bad things. I'm not going to be forgiven over there. Our job is to explain to that ghost that you will be forgiven. And then, or that they don't want to leave the person that they're watching.
Yeah, they're there for a reason, just like we were just talking about the spirits.
Oh, they can't live without me here. Oh my God, this is a mess. This is a mess. I need to be here. Right? It's like, no, it's going to be. I go to Ghost Spaghetti's all the time. Yeah, that's where the bash is too. But these people are like holding on to these human emotions. And again, when we get a job and we're going into a home, you got to play like you're a counselor. So you listen to the people, right? So I'm interviewing you two. What's the ghost doing? What's it saying? What's your problems? What's your beefs? Why are you not getting along with the spirit? I'll get the whole thing all written down. And then I kick you guys out. And then I talk to the spirit in the house. And I say, okay, well, Lee and Patty are saying that you're doing this and you're doing that and you're doing this. Now I want to hear your side of the story. What are they doing to piss you off?
Exactly.
We say that. Wallpaper and they did this and they added a wall on and
they knocked the wall down, or
and they don't like it. And then we have to explain, well, okay, I hear you, but here's the thing. You're no longer here. And they are the owners of the home currently. They are the ones that are in charge. Now you can stay here and you can watch them and you can do whatever, okay? Or if you're not going to get along, you're going to have to leave.
Yeah.
So it's either going to have to be forcefully leave, or you can go nicely. There's plenty of other things. If you have not yet crossed over for the reason that you're watching your home or whatever, right? You've got family and friends and loved ones.
There's so many people waiting for you
that are waiting for you, and you want to go there because you can still come back here. Get this, right? It's like, here's the kicker. It's not like you're never going to be able to come back. You can come back and you can be enlightened, and now you can be a help to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? So now if you can do that, then you come back as a spirit, and then your vibration is raised, your level of energy is changed, and you can be such a big help to all these people that you say you love.
When we do residentials, that is one of the things that I tell them, the client, is we're here to help you because it is stressing you out, but I'm also here to help the spirits.
Exactly.
And they look at me like, well, why would you want to help them? Because if I don't help them, we're not going to get your answers.
Mm-hmm.
You called me in for a reason, so let me do it my way. And it's like, okay.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, we got to get both sides of the story so that person can move on, to leave you alone.
Yeah, or you learn to live together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like here, okay, Stan, one of the owners of the house, upstairs on the third floor. When I was looking at this house, I just fell in love with this house just because of how big it was and how old and bones and the woodwork and everything. It's like phenomenal. It's my little castle, right? I love it. But I went up to the third floor and I saw him out of the corner of my eye, this man, and that's his room. I found out later from the neighbors and everything that was his room, and he had books up there, like a hoarder, like books, all right, floor to ceiling, books in that room. Mm-hmm. And I have, look at my books, okay? There's 3 bookshelves there loaded. I have another
the same way back there.
Yeah, I have another library downstairs loaded. I've got books here and I've got books here for my shows. I read a book a week for my shows too. So, people give me a book like this, right? Proof of Spiritual Phenomena. I'm going to read that sucker before you're on my show. All right. And
that's awesome. Yeah. You're doing research here. Yeah.
Right. But about all my books downstairs in the library, I have hoard boxes too. Yes, I do, Mama. Downstairs, I have this book. It's like this thick, right? Big, heavy freaking book. And it's on the shelf. And we were just moving into the house. right? And I'm putting everything away. Now I'm very anal, I'm very OCD, and I want everything in its place. Like I want it to look like I lived here for 500 years in a week. So
Yeah.
I'm putting everything away. And I would get up in the morning and like the sunroom downstairs is where that library is. And that's where all the boxes were. And I'm like, why is this book on the floor? And I pick it up and put it back on the shelf. And then I empty a box and I come back in and that book's on the freaking floor again. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, Bob, why are you knocking my book on the floor? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? So I picked it up and I looked at it. It's a Western civilization book. Okay. So I'm going, okay, you know, I put it back on the shelf. Now I'm talking to my neighbor like a few days after. And I was telling him, he's like, have you ever seen anything weird in the house? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah. And then I said, what do you know about the people that were here? And then he started telling me things. And he told me about Stan and Dottie, you know, and Stanley passed away. He actually had a stroke in my bathroom downstairs. And then they took him out and then he died off the premises. But pretty much he was gone here. And then Dottie stayed here by herself. Dottie loved the sunroom. So that's where she is. But upstairs where those books were, Doug told me that he had to get rid of all those books. So like a lot of them were so old that were up there, they were dry rotted. So they had to throw away a lot of books. And then some of them were donated to local places because the man was a psychologist and this and that. And he had a lot of Western civilization books because that was his passion.
Oh, good
So
Lord.
it's about the industrial revolution of the everything. Okay, so that's what that means. All right, but that's why he was going after my book. So then I said, well, you know, after I start investigating and stuff, he's pissed about his books, right? Really upset. And I said, well, I can try to get some of your books back because I know Dougie donated them to an area. I did try, but I couldn't. They were gone. And the ones he threw away, I said, I can't. So I buy this man books and I put them upstairs.
So you would be the same way. Patty probably be. I don't read. Patty, you and her both would be like, I want my books back now.
Well, that's what he did. I had the spirit box on the end of the stairs, and we had, because we do Ghost Detectives TV, we had some of the Ghost Detective people here, and Bella's in the hallway, and I'm stuck in my office, right? And the thing is right there, and he started yelling on the spirit box, and he went, my books! And it's like, boom, on the spirit. We had the portal on it. So it was like this really loud bang. I don't think Bella butt jumped off the chair in the hallway. I don't think her feet hit the floor. She was down and down the stairs in 2 seconds flat. Like, okay, well, if I can find your books, if I can get them back, will you be happy? You know, so now I have to negotiate with this really angry, screaming, you know, man. And that was the first time we knew how upset he was about the books, you know. But now he's got a bunch of books up there. I'll flip the pages for him. And I used to sit there and say, like, I'd come down and I'd write what page it was on to see if it flipped the pages. I don't do that anymore. But
you know who it is, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other resident spirits here too, you know. And it's funny because I would take my recorder and just walk around, and you can get them all over the place. There's a lot of things that happened here. I got caught on camera, EVPs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna buy books for the ghosts, huh?
Yeah, you can't argue with me now.
I know. More bookcases.
Yep. You know,
everywhere. Yeah.
I love books. I love books. How are you gonna learn? You know what I mean?
That's true. Books. Yeah. I used to love to read when I was younger, and I just, you know, now we got everything in front of us, so it's audio and everything like that. So it's easier. That's my go-to now.
Yeah, well, that's Mama D. So me and Mama D, I read. I want to read, and I want to have a book in hand. I got this one. This girl, Teresa Chung, right? So now I've got her info. I've got her book, Haunted World. This is the woman that writes the Dream Dictionary that everyone uses all around the world. She's in the UK, right? So this is her latest book. This is actually not even out yet. It's coming out in October that people can actually buy this. And, you know, it's like, I love this stuff. I absolutely love it. I meet incredible people, you know. Who's this one? No.
You do, you know, and that was something big that I loved when we used to do podcasts for years, is meeting new people. And they're just so phenomenal once you get to know who they are on a personal level and hearing their stories. And it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
All walks of life, you know, and it's just, I'm just like, wow, I definitely want to have you back on.
right? That's what it's, some of the shows that we, me and Mama D have. It's like, how do I put it nicely? All right, we had Flat Earth guy on. I give people a shot, but he's downing us. I'm like, okay, I'm asking my people, all right, let's give him a shot. Let's, see what he's gonna say. And then he was so rude and so arrogant and so like belittling me and Mama D that I was just like, hold on, I told my people to give you a chance, And and she gets the Kindle and the she likes
the audio. Yes.
I like to have a book in hand and read. But Mama D and me, we never like for lack of words, This guy, we were just like, what? Flat Earth. Give me a break. So all the other planets around, but just the Earth is flat.
Come on.
Around the world, they said, well, you can never fly over the Antarctic, can you? I'm like, I don't know. I've never tried. I mean, it's not like something I look into. But he's like, no, you can't. It's a lack of fly zone or something. But you get diverted, so you're coming back around the flat dome part. And I'm like, oh my God.
You do have some. Sometimes you do have some interesting guests. It's like, okay, yeah.
And then we had this other reverend that he was the only one on the planet that can do exorcisms.
Oh,
yeah. So he's a reverend, and he called it something else. I can't remember the name that he used to call it.
But he didn't call it an exorcism. He called it another name.
Yeah, something about expelling demons and whatnot, and if you're possessed or something. But when you go to heaven, like he said, this is how heaven works. And if there's a high rise and God is on the top level, I'm on the level below him, and there were no dogs there. No dogs.
What?
Allowed. It was like, well, you just lost my entire
that is not heaven.
Viewers, and I'm not going.
Exactly.
My dogs are going to be waiting for me, and you can have your high rise with whoever's going to be above you.
I would be like, I think we're losing connection. I can't hear you.
Yeah, and we're trying to be again. It was like the second time we're speechless, and I'm just like, wow. And he's got this playing to the congregation, so I can't like attack him because this whole congregation is watching on a big screen.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Because otherwise, if I was with,
was he related to Tom Jones?
Oh God, probably. Oh, but
jeez.
Oh my God. I couldn't
Some people, though, it's.
Wow. It was just wow. And then some people too. And it's like, I remember when I first started with it, like, well, send me some questions on anything. If you don't want to send me the book, send me questions, because I don't know what you book about if you don't send it to me. Right. So they'll be like, oh, don't worry about it. I don't need to send you. I can talk. So they get them on the show. And I said, all right, so what's your book about? Well, if you read it, it's about this. I'm like, okay. So,
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah. Can you give me a little bit more to go off?
Something. There's words, right? There's words in there. All right. What are the words?
Yeah.
How about that? Did you write them?
Yeah. Are they handwritten? And everybody's book is different.
Yeah. But that's like I insist I get their book, one way or the other. And if it's a PDF, I get upset because I got to sit at the computer and read it, and I don't like that. So I want a book in my hand and be able to sit in a comfy chair, or if I'm going somewhere, bring it with me.
Sure. Well, I know we kept you longer than we said we was going to, and you know what? I want to first of all thank you and tell Bob we missed him, but you guys are my first guest on the new show. And
Thank you for having me.
There's Taryn.
Hi, Taryn. I love you. Oh,
wrong one.
No, that's not Taryn.
Right here. And then she.
Girl. I made that frame. That's a Para-Unity frame. So if anyone wants that Para-Unity frame, hook me up. Yeah.
Love you, Taryn.
She's the best.
Yeah, so go ahead real quick for everyone to tell them where they can find you, some of the locations like Facebook or where they can get your ghost gear, stuff like that.
All right. So we have the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D is on every Thursday from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard. We're on our YouTube channel, the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, and on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows. And it's on Facebook on my Gina Bengtson, that's Bengtson, or you can put in Parafox, you'll find me. All right, it's on my page. Now we have Vortex Ghost Gear, which is vortexghostgear.com. That's all the equipment, everything that's here and more, okay, is on there. We have Ghostly Excursions, which is ghostlyexcursions.com, where we take people on ghost hunts, which we haven't done for a while, but we should be starting that back up. So I'm just going to put that out there. So right now we don't have anything lined up. So in the future we will. And then we do co-organized Penhurst Paracon. So that's penhurstasylum.com. I love you, Dave Girl. And Taryn's one of our worker bees that helps us. I mean, all the peaches help us at Paracon. And next year, oh God, you have to be there because I want to say the name so badly.
No, we're going to be there.
But I cannot until it's signed. And but it's going to be huge. So 7,000 people last year. It's going to be double that if this person.
That'd be super cool.
It's going to be that easy. So that's in May, 17th, 18th, 19th. So again, tickets are not on sale yet. All right, we have a lot of vendors. All our vendors last year get first shot at things. And then, yeah, she missed it. She goes and gets engaged, up on a trip. And,
I was going to say she did miss it this year.
Yep.
Yes.
But her face was there. Her face on a popsicle stick. So she was in some pictures.
Yeah.
we missed her dearly, But like Jason Haas says, well, I like this version of Taryn. It's nice and quiet.
That sounds like Jason, doesn't
She
it?
talks all the time, so it was funny. But yeah, she can't ever miss it again. So her fiance is like warned. Any trip is not at Penhurst time. There's plenty of time in the year. Okay, but so you definitely want to get to Penhurst Paracon next year because it's going to be the best we've ever had, hands down.
Yeah, we look forward to it, and it's going to be exciting because I may come up with stuff. I may just get a table just to set up, and we'll do some Patty crochets. So she can do some like ghosts. She can do different little things.
Cute. People love getting that little stuff, and then you can use it for objects. Put
it on that. Yeah,
get an HTO, put it on there, and say, "Do you like my little ghostie?" Because they're used to their regular stuff. So let's give them something new, and they like that. Talk to it's regular people in investigations.
Yeah, we'll be there, Taryn.
That's
because
great.
if I don't have everything by the time we get to Penhurst, I will when I'm there.
Yeah. I'll be in my big tent. I'm going to be in there, stuck in there. Bob's going to be out running around because he is like he's everywhere. Because he's got a million fires he's got to put out, and all that kind of stuff. So he's here, there, and everywhere. And like we flash by each other, but I'm pretty much stuck in my tent unless
you're doing your thing. Yeah.
So I'll be selling stuff. There's a huge, it's a big 10 by 20 tank and a big, huge Vortex Ghost Gear sign above it, and I have Mikey in there helping me, so I can actually run out and do something here and there. But but pretty much I'm kind of stuck in there, except for I do stay in my tent a lot. I'm talking, I'm explaining equipment, I'm doing,
and the people, that's your thing.
Yeah, in yourself, because people are there and they are going to. Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah, we were at Phenomenology and she came in and we just fell in love. We were all like hooked. We were friends. And then the next year, but the first year when she came in to investigate with us, we ran the General Lee's headquarters with Ben Hansen.
Oh yeah, okay. I was on. Ben does a show, right? I think I was on. Yeah, I was on his show. I think at Mr. G's. We did.
Yeah, so Taryn was with us, and we were in one of the rooms where we were getting activity with this trigger object, and it was getting late, but we were just wired up because we were getting out of this activity, and that's where we were staying, anyways. Yep. And all of a sudden, we're like, okay, if you can give us a sign one more time, we will leave you alone. And all of a sudden, Ben's tall guy. He hits that door like boom, boom on the outside. we jump like Scooby-Doo and I was like, well, we got to get the door. Everybody's like, I'm not getting the door. I was like, so we're slowly grabbing the door handle. We swing the door open and run away. And Ben goes, guys, can I investigate with you guys? All of my people left. And I'm like, come on in.
Oh my God. Oh, if we had another hour to go, I could tell you some really hilarious stories. But yeah, I was like one of the last people to stay at General Lee's before they closed it down. We got great EVPs there too. There was like all kinds of stuff.
We were the first night we got there and we were in the room. It was about, we just got back and we're just sitting there talking, door closed, TV on. We're all in our room and you hear this big herd of horses like just coming up to the door. And I'm like, well, like, did you just hear that?
Yeah, it sounded like they went right through our room. It was really pretty crazy. We used to do a lot down at David Stewart Farm because Bob really liked the woman too that owns it. You know, want to try to help her out too, get her.
Well, sure, absolutely.
Because she's got a big property, but it is active as Allah, you know.
And we know Taryn loves Gettysburg.
Oh, Taryn is. You know, I always say if anybody wants to know anything about Gettysburg,
call her.
Call Taryn. Taryn should be living in Gettysburg.
She should be. Yeah.
She must have been there in a past life or something, but I've never seen anybody so, you know, pro. Yeah. Everything Gettysburg. And she's not happy until she's in Gettysburg. Love. Getty the bird.
Yeah, she just says one day I'll live there.
I bet you will. I know you will. But I think you've already lived there in the past.
Absolutely. So. We're going to start. So on the show, we're going to start asking a question. And we're going to change it up. So you're my first to ask this question. And this, but we're going to eventually, as we get more and more questions, like Patty said earlier, we'll just have them pick a number or something, and that'll be their question. So for everyone listening, and this is the question I would like to ask Gina. If you had to pick one location and one piece of equipment, where would you go and what would you use?
Pennhurst and a recorder.
I figured you was going to say Pennhurst. I did, 100%. And I'm going to write these down.
After Pennhurst, I would say Ohio State. Right? Ohio State.
Mansfield?
And absolutely. A recorder. That's where one thing I would have a recorder.
And that's exactly what I would go with too, is the recorder.
Yeah.
Because I need proof.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like there's like EVPs or everything. All this other stuff, this is great, but you got to have it on a recorder because there's always, you know, someone's talking when they're lighting these things up too. Or if they're showing themselves on film, they're not talking. You know, it takes a lot of energy to show yourself so you can't hear anything, or you know, vice versa. So unless it's something that's really powerful, to get both is really tough, you know. But yeah, of all things, yeah, definitely recorder. I'm gonna start out. Recorder is definitely the first thing on your list.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. And of course, we knew what Taryn was going to say there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We really appreciate you coming in and talking to Patty and I. We had a blast. I'm glad. Hopefully, you did. You know, when we were talking, you know, through Messenger, and I was like, just talk about whatever.
I have no problem talking.
So, yeah, that's what I love is, you know, just be yourself. We don't have to follow a script. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing. So,
yeah. So, even if we had a script, I might go off.
Yeah, me too. I'd go way off. I'm like,
I can tell. And Patty's like my Mama D. She's over there doing all the things. I know she's doing all the stuff and talking to people and doing all the stuff.
So, yeah.
She's like my Mama D. And Mama D has got patience of a saint with me because I go blah, 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 blah all the time.
We love you too, Taryn.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Gina. And tell Bob we missed him, but we will see him. We will be there at Pennhurst. And I'll be getting in touch with you guys on some new stuff for sure.
Oh, no, we're always here, you know. Easy to get in touch with, easy to talk to. Bob Christopher, all right? You can, you know, if you go on the website, there's always a thing, you know, get in touch. The contact us part, there's he's got his phone number on there and he's got an email. You know,
Yep.
so if you have questions about the stuff, you can, you know, send him a message. If you're friends with me on Facebook, send me a message. I'll explain everything. You know, I get no problem telling.
And they do. They will go over. You may be looking at something that and then they'll say, "Are you sure?" You know, they'll probably talk you out of it going to something else because it depends on what you're wanting to try to pick up.
Exactly. Yep.
Here we go with someone else. This is another little thing. Night, everyone. This was so informative and fun.
Thanks.
So thanks again, Gina. We really appreciate you, and you all have a good night. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
So what did you think about our first night?
Well, I didn't expect to go over so long, but I'm thrilled we did.
Fun. Gina was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. So thanks again, guys. We will be back on September 10th. My next guest that I have lined up, I'm not going to share right now, but he's a dear friend of ours, and he's real close to us at heart. And he's not from the United States, so it's going to be a little harder for him to understand him. But guys, Mama D, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube. Michael, hey, Sherry. It is a great idea. If you want to network and get to know more people in the field, you definitely want to do this. We did this for a long time in the past, and it's dear to us. And and I've been telling Patty I want to get back out and doing it. So here we are. But thanks again, guys. You all have a great night. And Patty, what do we do?
Always keep looking into the unknown.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.